What's up, everybody? We're back with another Live to Roll Live. This week is just going to be Tom and I hanging out, doing a little impromptu show. But it's going to be fun. We're going to hang out. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, we're happy to answer them. And let's just kind of get into it. I guess you guys know me. I'm Shawn, C5, C6 quad from a snowboarding accident almost 18 years ago. Tom,
And
take it
what's
away.
up, everybody? Sorry, I'm just adjusting my screen a little bit here if it looks like I'm a little distracted. Just making sure I can see the chat and everything. But what's up? You guys know me, unless you're new. In that case, I'm Tom Conaway, C5, C6 quadriplegic, living life out here in beautiful sunny SoCal. Mid-November, we're about to get a 90-degree weekend.
I
Something's a
know.
little wild in the world, let me tell you. Um, but yeah, I've been living the quad life for 24 years now. And yeah, rocking the cool ass chair. But we're here to talk about it. If you guys have any questions, about Sean and I, our story, like if you never heard it, or anything like that, feel free to say what up, Celtic Bear.
Yeah,
Um,
what's up, Celtic Bear? I was
appreciate
gonna
you
say.
joining us, man. But let's do a little life update, Sean. I know you've been dealing with some bladder issues too. I just got over some bladder issues. Do you mind like talking a little bit about, what's going on with your suprapubic and stuff?
Yeah, man, I'll go first on that one. I know because you were having yours for a while, and then like I think now you're kind of getting better, and now I've been having issues.
Yeah.
But what happened with mine was, well, one, I'm having kind of a UTI issue right now, but that was started because I had my catheter changed almost like 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, and when they changed it, it was a new nurse that hadn't done it before, and she went in too far. So like for my bladder is super small, so like because of having the suprapubic and indwelling catheter for so long, my bladder is tiny. So it's very like it's sensitive, and you can only go in a certain amount, and I have it kind of dialed in, and she didn't follow my instructions, and she went in too far, and then she filled the balloon before like checking with me or doing anything. She just kind of just like shoved it in, filled, and it I don't know whatever happened in there. It's like broke me open and I started bleeding like pretty bad for only like 5-10 minutes, and I got the bleeding to stop, so it wasn't too
Yeah.
bad, but it was not fun. And then it still did kind of like it's the clot would keep like I'd pee and like push out the clot, and it
Yeah.
was a rough few days for sure. Luckily, all the bleeding stopped and everything, but like the trauma on my bladder was just so bad, and it kind of just has left me feeling pretty crappy. And then it kind of left me with it gave me a UTI, or at least triggered what already bacteria was in my bladder, because I always have some sort of infection and bacteria, but it
Yeah.
like kicked it up to another level. And yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks.
Well,
So
especially if
just
you had some like, open tissue there, like that bacteria and stuff. Like, unfortunately, the bladder is just like a bacteria center. That's where all the waste your body's trying to process out already goes. So it's just super, super tricky. And yeah, man, make me cringe when you tell that story. Um, I feel for you super pubic guys that have to change that catheter regularly like that. Like I don't know, that's like the main reason I don't have an indwelling is because like there's still a certain amount of maintenance you got to do, with that thing, and it can be tricky. It can be really tough. I mean, you manage it super well, Sean, but oh man, it just sucks that that kind of stuff happens from time to time. And I guess you can update everybody on what's going on with my stuff. I've been pretty good for the last
yeah.
couple weeks. I've still been, I don't know if it's just a new thing I have to deal with. If not, you're getting my bladder enough. I've been getting like some sensitivity in my lower abdomen, like right in that bladder region. And, like, I don't know, it's like my waist like band will be like bothering me, or I'll just be feeling like, I don't know, there's some kind of discomfort there. And I expected it to all go away after I got the bladder stone taken out and stuff, but it's persisted a little bit. Not anything like it was before, no dysreflexia or anything like that, just some mild discomfort, or what feels like hypersensitivity, but it's just pretty strange. But enough about what's going on with us. Let's touch on some of the chat. You She also these people out. What's up with this Jennifer Goldberg? She had some funny. I don't know if that's a joke or not. If it's a joke, it's funny. If it's not a joke, then that's
Yeah, Jennifer, I don't
interesting
know.
way.
If that's how you got injured, and if that's the true story, that's a pretty funny story. Pretty interesting. I guess I'll put that on the screen. Why not? Let's share it. But yeah, no, that's pretty funny. And how's it going, Jennifer and Andrew? Good to see you back, like always,
Yeah, man.
buddy.
He said you're in the hospital, dude. Hope you're doing well. Everything's getting better and on the mend for you. Sending some positive energy your way, dude.
Yeah, for
We,
sure. And Celtic Bear, I think were you talking about the temperature 95 and then 45 in the morning? Because yeah, that's what right now for like the quad temperature change right now. It's so hard because like at night it's freezing. I'm so cold in the morning, and then if you go out and you're moving around doing stuff in the day, like you heat up and get crazy. You can't have your hoodie on. Like it's so I got my like Under Armour long sleeve kind of on, but
the long
got
sleeves are like a nice bet, but it's tough because you will like have a cool morning and then go out and be busy, and by noon, 1 o'clock, sun's at its peak. You're like, need to get these clothes off. Like I got to change it into something. What up,
yeah.
base?
Yeah, what's up, Ace of Spades? Trying to go through the chat still.
Um,
Arrowhead, what's up, buddy? Um, and Jennifer says, unfortunately, it is true. I'm sorry,
well,
Jennifer.
Jennifer,
We don't mean to laugh,
we're
but
we're
it
glad it
is good
was
to make
we're glad
light
it
of
wasn't
your.
any worse. It's a funny story though. That's a tough one to tell at support groups, maybe. I guess you could leave out that particular detail and just say car accident. But
Yeah, yeah, you don't have to.
I used to make up stories when I was a kid. This might sound kind of fucked up. Pardon my French. But I would like get tired of telling my story. And kids are unique in that, there's like very little filter, which now, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about kids. Like, I never care, like, if a kid comes up and asks me, like, why are you in the chair? Like, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. But when I was in elementary school and middle school and even high school, like, it was a very common question for new, new friends, new people. It usually didn't take long. Sometimes kids would just come up and ask me, like, why are you in the chair? And I got sick of just saying I was in a car accident, so I started making up crazy stories. I made this story on how I was like on vacation in Africa with my family, and we got stampeded by elephants, and an elephant stepped on my back and broke my back. This was like a real stretch, but in my adolescence, I was skydiving, and the parachute didn't open until the very last second. I
And
landed
the
in a
kids
bunch
believe
of
these stories.
yeah, yeah. Heck yeah. Well, I don't know if they were just playing on, but some of them were definitely gullible enough to. Um, but that was just like a funny, goofy thing I did a lot in my adolescence. I mean, not a lot, but enough to have a couple stories to tell. That's for sure.
No, that's pretty funny because kids, I can imagine being a kid and having that like that would be such a different dynamic because now when I interact with kids, like yeah, it's like you see kids and they're like curious, like oh the chair, they have questions. Like I've had kids like see me getting out of my van, like oh it's like a rocket, like when the ramp comes out, it's like a spaceship, like oh like all in awe and stuff, like but like yeah, being a kid, I feel like that would be rough for you, like kind of like, but having
Yeah,
stories like that would make things more interesting and fun.
no, definitely. I mean, it was just I've always kind of been a jokester. Like I've always had my sense of humor, and it was almost like a joke to me, to see like what kind of tall tale I could tell. And if you ask my parents, like I was always a malarkey or two. I would love to tell little wives' tales, and if I ever got to cry wolf, I'm gonna be screwed because my mom and dad will probably be like, "All right, get over it. Stop pulling our leg."
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, whatever, Tom.
yeah, right. But thankfully I grew out of that mostly. What up, Peter? What up, Sharon? Thanks for the love. We appreciate you being here. It's always funny. We don't really talk about it too much on the pod, but I don't know. Sean and I started these right after the pandemic got going as a way to, just kill some time. And we had talked about doing it for a while. We had the extra time, during the pandemic and stuff. But it's such like a, I don't know, almost like a little therapy session for me to get on and talk. Like I swear, a lot of it's just sharing my experiences, and not so much talking about like what we would in like support groups or something like that. But at least I do get something out of it every week, being on here, hanging out with you guys and talking too. So, the appreciation goes right back to you, Sharon, for being here, and all you guys coming back every week. We hope you get something positive out of this, or there are some individuals that hopefully have, because I don't know, I have a ton of fun doing it, and it always makes me feel good afterwards after having a cool
Yeah,
show, talking about some cool stuff. And Astro Access last week, man, that was
that was
awesome.
fun.
That shit
That
was
was honestly
cool, dude.
really
I've been
fun,
tripping
dude.
out about it all week long. Like, I've been nerding out about the on the website, like about like accessibility in space. Now I want to get out there and do something like that one day. Like, I never really thought of that before, but I mean, imagine in 20 years, like what SpaceX and Blue Origin might be doing with like, the commercial trips to space and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
how
that's
crazy
crazy
would
because
that
I
be?
didn't think about that much like 5, 10 years ago. But now, over this last 5, 10 years, they've really like progressed stuff. And like, yeah, in the next 20, like you're saying, dude, like there really could be like, you could buy a ride and just go hang out. Like, if you wanted, you want to experience it. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, the
Uh,
theory behind this stuff is like you could travel outside the atmosphere, what, 24,000 kilometers per second or something, like traveling around the Earth, right? So you could theoretically get to China in like half an hour, 45 minutes. Imagine like getting on a little spaceship here in LA, popping over to China to like work your day job, and then catching a little space shuttle back for, a 1 hour commute to the other side of the world, homie. Like, that would be crazy. That's what I'm talking
uh,
about, dude. That would be sick.
that that is some pretty crazy stuff right
Go
there.
kick it with my Chinese homies and our Australian peeps on the other side of the world for the day.
That would be
That'd be
crazy,
some
man.
that would
Yeah.
be some crazy stuff,
I just
man.
want to see the I just want to see the Earth from space, like that, to
Yeah.
get that like firsthand view. Like, yeah, it would be pretty amazing.
Well, after hearing Eric talk about it so much too, like I want to feel that weightlessness. Like I want to
Oh,
feel
that would be
zero
cool
G.
too.
Like I want to see what it feels like on my body. To be able to float around. Like it's my favorite feeling when I'm in the water and I can use my upper body to, like manipulate my hips and like move my legs and stuff like that. But I imagine like how cool it'd be in space to be like push off and float around and
Yeah, and like he
kind
was
of move
saying
your
too,
body.
even in the low gravity, like the moon gravity, he was able to walk and stand, which he couldn't do unassisted before. Which, like, even thinking about stuff like that is pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like we're talking about like the lunar therapy or lunar rehab uh, building where you go up there, you can you get your rehab done, you can heal pressure sores in zero G, like less all
Right?
kinds of
This
stuff.
is no joke. I want to like create like a wound care clinic out in the middle of like Mojave or Arizona. I had this pressure sore on my toe one time. I mean, not one time, like 2 years ago. And it was bugging me for like a month. It was just open. It was like right on the knuckle of my big toe. I couldn't get it to close no matter what I did because my sock would get in the way. I tried to keep my shoes off for a week. Nothing would work. I went to the desert, like 110-degree, dry heat, dude. And that thing was closed up in a day and like healed by
Was
the
it?
end of the week. Yeah. And I talked to my mom about it. She's a nurse. I'm like, is there something to this? She's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, if you create the right environment, you can like incentivize like proper, methods of healing. But that's the most difficult thing with pressure wounds is like they stay open and wet and like they never, have that chance to like scab up and like, start the healing process beneath.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something that I noticed. I don't know if there's any medical merit to that. Just hippity dippity Dr. Tom over here. But I don't know, I thought it was interesting.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, dude. Base of Spades says take a few dabs and you'll experience weightlessness.
That's no joke,
uh,
man.
for people that don't know, dabs are just like smoking concentrated cannabis.
Yeah, concentrated
for any
marijuana.
for
Dabs are no joke. The dab life is not for me. I don't know. Like I've had experience with more concentrated forms of marijuana, and I don't know. I think I do partake in probably stronger than average regularly in any case, but um, I've done it a couple times and woof, man, no joke. I wasn't floating, but I might as well have been because I was spinning.
Yeah, there are. It's really strong. Yeah, for sure. Uh, what do you got?
We got a question from
Sh-
Sharon.
yeah, I was gonna say Sharon just came. Have you guys known of someone that has had their hips fused and the outcome? I don't know actually. Why? I'm not sure why you would. Or Tom, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, what's the reason for the hip fusion?
That's what I was wondering. Like
I've
why
known
you
a
would
ton of
need.
people that have had their spine fused. I've known some people that have had hip replacements, or had, the socket or the joint replaced. But um, is it from like serious contractions developing in the hip? That's like the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah, I wanted
And
to.
unfortunately, I don't know anybody personally who's had it done. My best bet is if you're a part of any Facebook groups, spinal cord injury Facebook groups, or any forums online like that, would definitely be worth leaving a post. See if anybody has a similar experience. They can maybe weigh in on. Otherwise, my best recommendation is Google.
Yeah,
Google the procedure. See if you can find some people in similar situations. There, read their firsthand account of the process, and yeah, make sure you talk to more than one doctor, maybe, if it's a tricky procedure.
yeah.
I know a lot of individuals who have gotten the spinal fusion. Have done like now they do it like right away once you're hurt. If you fracture your spine, if it's like a necessary thing to stabilize you, they usually do it right away. But I have known a lot of individuals that have gotten it later in life, having developed serious scoliosis and needed to get spine
Uh,
fusion surgery. And it's a heavy one. It's something takes us 6 months, a year, 2 years to recover from, and it's not something to be taken lightly in any way, shape, or form. Meaning, you want to be confident in your doctor. You want to be confident in the procedure. You want to be confident, the rehab process following and everything.
yeah,
Um,
she actually said C. diff. The nurses didn't do proper therapy while he was sick.
okay,
So
so when you say infusion, does that mean like they secure them in like one position, or do they free them up from being contracted?
yeah, I'm not
I'm
really
just not
familiar
sure. I don't
either.
want to give wrong information either.
And Celtic Bear said try something called septic pencil herbal medicine. I don't know if that was for or if that was for smoking or healing. And then hip arthritis might help it. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Do you have any problems with your hips or anything, or like? Because I'll like
Uh,
my hips like pop sometimes weird, and I'm like, was that good? Was that I don't know. Freaks me out a little
yeah.
bit sometimes.
Um, yeah, I'm not gonna say her name on the pod, but Kit Kat. She has contractions in her hips. So it's just from not getting decent enough range of motion. You know, it's important if you sit with your legs up in a frog position. Oh no, she doesn't have any issues with it. Um, still good mobility and ability to transfer and stuff. But those are the things that can get in the way of is your mobility and your function. If your body starts to tighten up in any position, just starts to limit your function or your mobility. Um, but it's tricky. I don't have any issues with my hips, but I grew up. My mom was a nurse, and that doesn't mean that you can't do this if you're not a nurse. But she did my PT and like a lot of OT at home all the time, and knew how to stretch me and take care of my body. So it was a lot of through my adolescence, my hips and my legs got really good range of motion, really good stretching for a long, long time. I have contractures in my knees because I'm sitting. Even so, I can still go pretty straight. I would say they're maybe, about like 25 degrees contracted. My worst contractions are my elbows. And that might sound kind of weird because I have pretty good function and mobility in my arms, but I sleep like this. I sit like this. I keep them bent a lot. I did a lot when I was younger, and as much range of motion as we did on my legs, I focused on my arms less because I had more function in them, um, and I was just using them more. But I don't know. I didn't stretch them, and it's not that I wasn't aware of it. I did go through some consults to get like the tendon stretched and to get rid of the contraction. Um, and I wore braces for a while, but they were the gnarliest, most painful things that I ever had. And I wear them at
So,
night, and they would stretch my arms so bad and pinch my nerves, so they'd be falling asleep. And then I'd wake up just like crying in pain, and I threw those to the curb real quick. And it's one of
so
those things. It can work, right? If you find a way to function, even if your hips are contracted, even if your legs or your arms are contracted, if you're still functional in your daily life and it doesn't hinder you, why fix something that isn't really broke?
so
But if it is getting in the way of stuff, that's when causing pain, you know, is contractures can. I mean, if your body gets too far out of whack, it can affect your spine and your posture, and then that could push in your organs and cause other issues. So it's something to be mindful of and aware of, and talking to your doctor about. At least moving forward long term. But
yeah, no, that's a. I think stretching. I've stretched that. I've stressed that. I think we've stressed that all a bunch. Keeping your body limber and stretched out and stuff, so you don't get those contractures and stuff. And that's one thing I've always been fairly conscious with trying to get my elbows because I've noticed a lot of people that didn't weren't able to range all the way out. And I have the same thing with you. My arms want to come up at night and like constantly want to be up and cross. And if it's cold, then I'm definitely like I'm up like this like even more like but what I've started doing like years ago, and sometimes I'll honestly wake up and it hurts. But I will when I'm on my side, I'll stretch my arm out and I'll almost wedge my hand under my hip and like hold it straight like so it's held out and like wedged under there, and I'll wake up and my arm's like asleep almost tingling. It hurts in my elbow. It's probably not good, but
I do a
but
casual stretch just sitting here. Like I'll like put my like palms together and like put tension on both my arms and just like stretch my arms out. Like just while I'm sitting, like if I'm on the phone, like I try to do it pretty regularly. Um, just to keep them from getting worse. That's kind of the big thing is, they're functional now, but I've been noticing it getting worse in my right side, which is my weaker arm. Um, this has more paralysis. Like I can't supinate and pronate with this arm. Like I can't flip my wrist like that. And that has been making it worse. Like I keep my arm more in like a prone position, this one at least, because I can't flip it over and really sit with it in any other comfortable way. And that's been, I think, slowly making it worse. I used to have a lot more function in this thumb, but it kind of hangs kind of low now, and I can't do the thumbs up anymore because that tendon's all stretched and worn out, whereas I can with this side. Um, Now I haven't been to OT in like 15 years, which is probably why that's happened. I'm still functional. I, like learned to use what I got really well, but I am working to work on those things. Try to, work on my hands and my wrists and my arms in a more meaningful way. Like I just started, I just got approved for OT in addition to my PT. So I'm going to be like working on
nice.
that stuff specifically. And my point to kind of this whole thing is, just like the hip fusions and stuff, Sharon, looks like you said his legs don't separate.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
yeah,
actually
that
just
could
post that once we
cause
were.
some other issues for sure. Some serious mobility issues and transferring and getting from bed to chair and stuff like that. Can imagine how difficult that might be. It's never too late to start on the right track, get things moving in the right direction, and I mean, it sucks that his nurses didn't do proper therapy while he was down, which led to
Unfortunately,
that.
that's
That's
really
usually
common. Like,
what happens.
yeah,
You know,
it's more common than you would hope for. So,
people
but
get sent out of rehab. They don't get instructed on that stuff. They sit in the same position for 6 months or a year, day in and day out. Next thing you know, it's hard to get out of that position. Um, but speak to his doctors. That's probably the best thing you can. They're the ones that are going to give you the confidence. Tell you like from all my experience with significant procedures, it's like there's nothing like the confidence of like talking to like a good doctor, like before like hearing their confidence and that things are going to go well and stuff, and that they've had experience doing this kind of thing before. And you know it's tough. Surgeries are so hard. I just
yeah,
had to do a
man.
little one, and man, like it was an ordeal for me, let me tell you. Just that cystoscopy, which you'd get done on the reg, dude.
Well, not that often, any really much, but yeah,
Yeah.
every year or two I do. But yeah, like, and that sucks too, because I have to get put under and stuff. Like, I can't do it in the office like a lot of people can. Um, like, but just yeah, just anytime you're gonna get put under, it's like a whole thing, Like that's not fun to get anesthesia and be put under, put to
Celtic
sleep for
there
a while.
said stretch us on a medieval track.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm about it, dude.
Honestly,
Oh,
that's what I kind of do to my arm, bro. Like, I'll wake up sometimes and I'm like, ow, that hurts. I'm like, that's, but my arms are like I got pretty damn good range. Like they can stretch out. They're not 100% straight, but like they are pretty, for a quad, like I'm pretty, like pretty good.
yeah. I've been like going to this PT thing, and my favorite stretch they do. It's kind of like that. Like they put this like half circle foam thing on the bed, and then like I'll roll over my back so I'm like balanced on the foam, and it just like stretches my shoulders and my back out like oh man, it just like spreads me and like stretches my back so good. Oh, it feels like the best thing in the world. What's up, Hip Crip? How's it going, man? I've been checking out some of your action on your Instagram and your YouTube, homie.
Nice.
um always love to see your cool posts, dude. You're super fun to check out, cruising out on your crazy lawnmower and stuff. It's pretty cool, pretty cool.
Yeah,
um
that's awesome.
But yeah, like sometimes that's what you need is the medieval track. I need someone to just grab me, yank my body apart, stretch me in every direction all at the same time. Because that's what I struggle with, especially right now with the cold, is I get tight. I mean, you guys are seeing me like do my quad
Oh,
lean and stuff like that in the cam. But I also hunch. Like I said, I hunch a lot, and I do this a lot, more than I should. And just like the tightness is tough. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Sean. Do you get that?
oh yeah, no, I get the tightness for sure. Yeah, that's what when I start getting cold, I clench I'm like my shoulders get up, my neck gets tight, and then just my neck pain and everything is so much worse. I was actually wearing just until like 5-10 minutes before we got on the video call. I had one of those neck gaiters on my neck, like because they work so good. Like it's like that thick fleece neck gaiter, and it just keeps my neck so warm. Because
Yeah,
once that
dude. I've
hardware
just
in your
seen.
neck gets cold, it hurts so bad, like the neck pain. So if you can keep the neck warm, like keeps my neck pain down so much. Like
I think it's on my bed. I'll have to see if I can find it somewhere. But I have a heating pillow that I've been using the last couple days. Same principle. It's just like a sleeve full of flaxseed, and I stick it in the microwave for a couple minutes and get it like really hot and like radiant heat, and then I'll just like it wraps right around my neck. Oh, and like I'll just chill with that sucker on there for an hour or two, just like soak up the heat, let everything
yeah,
relax.
those are extra nice when it's the actual heat like those are
Yeah.
necessary sometimes. But like and that's what if I'm out and getting cold like and it gets to a point where it's like oh my god my neck like then I need that.
Oh, I know someone that lives and dies by those heat pillows. Like, oh man, but that's like that radiant heat, super important. Has everybody been weathering the winter okay wherever you're at? I
Well,
hesitate to say we're in winter here in
I
California.
know today it's 70 out. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 90, I think, though, or 85, like 80 something at least.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
but yeah, this weather is crazy right now. Uh, but I
So
still
Sean, we
have
were
to
just
have.
talking. Go
What's
ahead.
up? I was gonna say, but I still have to have the heater in the mornings. So,
That
but
never stops. First thing I
yeah,
do, like after shower, wet head, I gotta like warm my body back up. But I'll tell you what, like I can cook myself in a shower. I'll be like a lobster coming out of there, just like my skin will be glowing red, because I'll just have that sucker as hot as I can take it for as long as I can take it.
I've been known to do that from time to time as well. Yeah. I just pretty much like it's leaving red blotches. Like my caregiver's like, "Is that too hot?" She's like, "It's red." She's like, "Your skin." I'm
Every
like,
morning, my
"Nah."
character
I'm
is
like, "It's
like, "All
good."
right." She's like, "Are you okay? Did you burn yourself?" I'm like, "Nope. I feel good." I'm like, "It'll go away in a couple minutes."
Heck yeah. Um, found Celtic Bear found a heating pad. It's USB powered. Yeah, you any type of either the electric ones. Just be careful that they have like an auto off or anything like that. Just because if you fall asleep with it on or something like that, you don't want it to burn you. Because I have heard some stories and have some friends that have gotten some heater burns from heating blankets and stuff
I
like
know
that.
multiple
Heat pads.
people that have gotten burns from heat blankets or heat pads, because they that heat for a longer duration of time, just dangerous. So that's why I'm really a big fan of the natural heat pillow with like the seeds because the heat does dissipate, holds it for about an hour, but then it starts to dissipate really significantly. Um, so it's kind of got the natural timer built in, but almost all the USBs and like heat blanket, heat pad type things I've seen um, usually have timers on them. So just be mindful, be safe. It's the most important thing.
Yeah,
um,
for sure. Yeah.
before
So
injury, I used to love this time of year. Now I'm miserable.
I still
Feel
like
that
the time
new.
of year, but the cold is a little harder to deal with, especially like on the joints in your neck and stuff. Like it's just yeah, increased pain for sure.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of the rain and the cold, honestly. Which I'm lucky I'm born here, considering. But that's always like, I guess maybe I've been rocking the quad life since I was a little tyke, so that might be why I don't have an affinity for it. But I love the smell of the rain.
I
But
like the smell.
after
Like I
that,
like
I'm
the
like, all right,
fall.
go away.
Like I don't know. I like that early, like that like fall winter kind of early morning. Like I don't know, like the rain kind of smell and like whatever. But yeah, the actual temperature and stuff is not my favorite.
It snowed 2 years ago, and the desert where my family lives, and I was visiting for uh, a week during Christmas time, and that was cool. Like the cold was gnarly, but it was like awesome to have like a snowy Christmas.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
you just
cool.
have timers. That's good, dude. We just wanted to shout it out for anybody else that might be thinking about getting one.
We got a couple of questions. Oh, Sharon, actually, wow, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate
Sharon,
that.
you are awesome. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. We definitely appreciate that. And we had a couple of questions. Arrow had actually asked if either of us sleep on our stomach ever. And no, the only time I have was when I had a slight sore on my tailbone, my butt, and I was just trying to stay off it as much as possible. But even then, I could only do like a few hours, and that was when I was living with somebody, so she was able to help me like in the middle of the night, kind of like roll and get off my stomach and get back comfortable. But it's hard. But I do roll onto my stomach every morning and stretch my hips out for like 5-10 minutes at least, just to get like a nice hip stretch every morning. So yeah,
I don't plank. I've
I know.
never, I'm never really on my tummy. Um, when I'm at PT, like I'll flip over on my stomach and they'll like stretch my legs, stuff like that. I'm not comfortable. I'm like so smushed down and like my face and my chest. I'm like can't breathe. Like I got too much. I'm like top weights pushing down on me. And I like my butt sticks up a little bit because like my knees are contracted slightly. Like when I flip over, like I kind of toss my booty in the air. Um, Sorry for that visual, everybody. But but it's not really comfortable for me to sleep like that. If I had something under my legs to take the pressure off, it might be more comfortable. But then again, like I would have to like the feeling of being on my stomach, which I don't really. Also, I could be like a turtle. Like if you put me on, my like on my tummy, I'll be like hard pressed to get back on my back sometimes. Like
So yeah,
I
you're
I
the
got
opposite of
stuck. I got stuck on a like a inflatable mattress one time on my stomach, and for like a half an hour I could not like get back on my back, but I eventually got it. It was just
Why
such
did
a
you roll to your stomach, or did you accidentally like roll
well,
over?
I
Or
was trying to. I went from a bed to an air mattress. It was like a slumber party situation, and I just had a long journey, and I was just crawling. So I got on my stomach to like crawl, but it was just slightly deflated, and I just couldn't get enough. Like it wasn't firm enough to push over, and I was just like stuck flat, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't push hard enough to like get up on my elbows to flip my butt over. But I ended up crawling to an edge, and um, that may have been the time I fell off on the floor. Honestly, I don't know. Um, but that's one way to keep good range of motion in your body is get out of your chair. That's how that stuff happens. Is you're sitting in one
that's
position for 12, 14 hours a day. You know.
Yeah, and that's actually
Um,
one of another YouTuber that's sometimes in our chat, the Angry Quad. His name's Shawn also. On his channel, he preaches constantly about getting out of your chair, like getting onto the floor, getting out. Like he's all about that stuff.
and it can be
And I know a
harder
lot
if
of
you're a
people are,
quad,
but it is harder
but
if you're a quad for sure.
if you have the help and assistance, then it's definitely. I just have him sit on the couch, roll around like a roly poly. Try to tap into that inner adolescence for a little while, be goofy. But seriously, just getting into a different seating position, laying out your legs, moving regularly, it's tough. And like I hate to say it, there's just no easy way around some of this maintenance we got to do in life. Bladder, bowel, and body. It's just like it's more of a job for us who are living the crip life. Um, but the cards are dealt. Just got to make it work, right? What have we got? Make the best of it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't, you know, make it a fun thing to do. Hop out on the couch, watch a movie, chill out of your chair for a couple hours. Sometimes I'll just in the middle of the day, you know, like hop out of my chair for a little while, even if it's half an hour, just to get my butt on a different surface. Move my hips around, stretch my legs. Let them splay, and not be like stuck together with my hip guards for the whole day.
Yeah, I
Um,
personally do that all the time. If people know anything about me, you guys, like if I'm at home, I'm out of my chair. I pretty much will eat lunch out of my chair, and then I'll get out and eat dinner out of my chair. I try to eat in the couch, and it's just more comfortable. It's more of a reclined position for me, and it's just that change of position, like you're saying. You just like switch it up, get your butt that different spot.
and getting
So
outside,
I'm about it.
doing some physical stuff like the adaptive rec, even if you're doing it from your chair, like moving your body in your chair, getting that blood circulation going is so healthy and beneficial for
So
you. But especially when you get out of your chair, get into a bike, get into a different piece of exercise equipment, that's like the ultimate experience.
so I'm gonna use that to shout out and
Dude,
transition
you're reading my
our
mind, bro.
Triumph Sports Festival. We got coming up on November 20th, in less than 2 weeks now. It's in Pasadena. If anybody's in Southern California, and honestly, it's worth a day. Like if you're not that far and you have to come for a night or something, it honestly would be worth it. It's a free event all day. You can try all kinds of sports events. I wish I had a flyer up right now. I
Plus,
might actually
we'll
try.
be there. You can come and kick it and hang out
And
with
we
the
will be there. We'll be hanging out.
with the crew.
So yeah,
If you're
that's a.
interested, can't find the information, it's all on the Triumph Foundation website. Sean will post a link in the description.
I
And
will.
if
Yeah.
you still can't figure it out, let us know and we'll get you to it somehow.
And the festival happens to be the day before my birthday, so come celebrate with me. Hang out.
Happy early birthday to our the Magic Man, Sean Fluke, puts this magic on every week. We appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, man.
And I want to shout out some outdoor recreation in our chat. Uh, Arrowhead. I said
Oh yeah.
they went on an ADA hike today. It was so nice out. 60s, sunny in New York. That sounds awesome. I went for a little cruise in my sunshine yesterday. Not too far, but just
Nice.
to get out for a little while, and it was really, really nice. But I want to go on an ADI hike. I was just talking to a buddy about looking up some accessible trails out here and going for a cruise. So thank you for the inspiration to get my ass out there.
And I gotta find some more trails and stuff would be cool, like accessible trails like that. I know there's plenty around me too. I just have to get out and actually find them. But
And Quad Life, yeah, we'll definitely be vlogging the festival. Sean will be vlogging, and I'll see if I can get a camera going too. What's up, man? Good to see you, bro. We're working on more vlogs. Life has been carrying both of us away a little bit. Sean's been dealing with some health stuff, and I've just been super busy. What I was thinking about today is maybe Sean and I just recording some stuff separately and see if we can like edit something together, for like what's going on in our crazy ass lives. Um, I going out of town this weekend. I'll see if I can maybe film some stuff with my fam.
yeah,
Get
that
some,
that would be
get some fun
cool.
videos.
Going out to the desert, and I will be going to Nitro Circus on Friday. If anybody else is going to be
Let's talk.
around San
Let's
Bernardino.
talk about it. Uh, have
uh,
you been getting out there a little bit since COVID, like the vaccine, COVID's cooled down a little bit? I mean, I'm
Oh,
sure
I
it's
was for
still
a
staying
while there,
same,
yeah, until
but
the bladder issue happened, until like my bladder trauma. I was getting out quite a bit. Like I went to go see WWE with my buddy Dell from rugby, and then me and Dell went to see Dropkick Murphys and Rancid show like a week later, and like
heck yeah.
trying to do some like little events and stuff like that. So quad life, nice. You like the vlogs. So yeah, man, I was
We
trying to get out
appreciate
there, and I
you.
would like to start getting out again, but yeah.
That's
Uh,
cool. Let's talk about this a little bit. It might be a little fun topic to touch on for a little bit. Going out to events like this. How's the accessibility? Like when you're at the show, like can you see like the concert and stuff? Like is because I recently like have been to some shows too, so I'll share my experience after you. Um, but talk to me about it, homie. How was it?
so I actually, so like at the concert, the Dropkick Murphys and Rancid show, it was actually pretty good. The actual accessible platform they had was pretty close to the stage, plenty of room, good viewings. Like it was a really nice viewing platform, really really good spot, set up well. You had a perfect view. The only thing that was weird about that was the ramp up to it was super sketch. Like there's no way I would have done it by myself. Like I had to have the lady that was working there help me up the first part of it. There was like
Yeah,
it wasn't even close to ADA accessible. It was like a 45-degree or more, like just it was gnarly.
yeah,
But they had a lady there, like right there, waiting to help people. Like somebody was like paid, like they had somebody because they already knew that was going to be an issue. So it was all pretty good, you know. As far as like getting drinks and stuff at the venue, that was, I guess, I don't know, normal. I waited in line like everybody else, and
did you do a little sipping? Did you have a
yeah,
beer?
we
You have
had
a
a couple
brew? Like
beers. Yeah,
right on.
that was before all my bladder issues. So, but yeah, that was cool. Got a couple beers, and that's the just like any venue you're gonna go to, accessible or not, the beers are gonna be like $15 a piece. So,
I don't even want to
uh,
tell you what I paid in Vegas, dude. I'm like a cocktail guy. Like I like beer too, but it fills me up really like quickly, and like I just feel bloated and gross afterwards. So if I'm out, especially for the night, I try not to do the beer too early. I'd rather have a cocktail instead of beer entirely. But when I went to this reggae festival in Las Vegas, and I paid $21 for a gin and tonic, and
man, that
it
is a
was
pretty.
like it was like 5 shots in a super gulp cup. So it was definitely like you got what you paid for. But man, oh man, I was like, oh boy, this is probably not a great idea. Ended up not drinking most of it just because
Huh.
I don't know, man. I haven't been able to drink much lately. It's just been tough. Like the minute the alcohol hits my lips, like I'm just like, eh, like I don't want to do this. Uh,
No more Party Tom anymore from
oh
the
no,
early.
Party Tom is definitely here. You don't, I don't need to be drunk to party. That's for sure. Um, and I'll hang. I just like to catch a buzz instead of drink to kind of get drunk, like I would do a little bit more in my college days. Like I was just a little bit reckless with it, and I don't know, like if it was so well advised. Like I probably did some dangerous things, because I had some nights where I drank just a lot, and maybe not advised for someone in my situation, because it does pose certain dangers. Getting home safely, my big thing was, and I've talked to like some friends about this. Like I was always afraid I was gonna throw up in my sleep, or like and not be able to sit up and like aspirate and
That's a
die. Like
yeah, that's a genuine like fear. Like that's
yeah.
yeah, that could actually
Um,
happen. Like
and my like solution to that problem was I would just pass out of my chair. Like I'd grab a blanket, just pass out of my chair. Like if I did throw up, like I just wake up and like rush to the sink real quick or something like that.
oh man.
But like the other thing that like got too bad was the hangovers are just the gnarliest things in the world. Like I would get these gnarly 2-day hangovers, and I remember like a couple times, like the heaviest nights I've ever drank in my life. Like the next day, I mean, I was like huddled, like, oh my God, my body, what did I do to myself? And what I did was I poisoned myself with some
Yeah.
alcohol. But it's really hard to rehydrate afterwards adequately. That's the other thing that I always make sure I do if I drink now is I followed up with some H2 flow, before I go to bed for sure. Even if it like is gonna make me nauseous, like try to drink at least 12, 24 ounces of water, because like I have to, or else like my bladder will be screaming.
I was just gonna say that that's the other thing is you end up when you have a big night of drinking like that, like you're almost guaranteed a UTI after that one too.
Yeah, I
Like,
know, man. I
like
know.
when
I've been
I,
living that life, bro. Oh, it's
yeah,
no
like
fun.
even when I did the like that concert, like you were saying, I had 2 beers when I was there. When I got home, I drank like 2 of my 24-ounce bottles of water. Like by the time I had gone to bed, like I flushed that shit out.
Hmm.
Like I was pounding water, dude. Like
Yeah,
the
well,
whole
that's what you
drive
got to
home.
do.
So yeah,
That's the other reason I don't like beer is because it makes me have to cath 4,000 times throughout the night. And that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'll be in the bathroom every 30 minutes, I swear. And that's a bit of a pain when you got to cath intermittently like that. And you're right, Celtic Bear. Beer before liquor, never sicker. That's the rule. Um, Now, in my youthfulness, young, dumb college Tom was not so mindful of what I was drinking as long as it was getting me a little messed up. So sometimes that happened. The worst nights that happened.
uh,
I mean, the best nights and the worst
that
next mornings for sure.
they might have started as
Uh,
the best, but they end. Next day was the
but
worst.
dude, I don't know if I've told you this story before, but I'll tell it on the pod because it's funny. But one of the nights I got way more messed up than I ever have. It was Halloween, like actually like 6 or 7 years ago now. I just met some buddies down here in Northridge like for the first time. Like I had some LA homies, and we all met at my place and had like a 12 pack of Shock Top. And then it was Halloween. We were just sitting in my apartment. We're like, let's go out. And there was this college bar, like walking distance from my place, called Dublin's. And we went over there. It was this Irish pub, and it was already in the process of being shut down by the fire marshals because it was at capacity. Like it was overflowing with drunk college kids. And I went in there and I got this drink. It was called my buddy ordered one. Well, first I had a Long Island iced tea.
Oh
Drank that sucker down. I was feeling all right. And then my buddy got this drink. It was called an AMF. And
yeah.
if anybody doesn't know what that stands for, I'm not going to tell you. It starts the adios. Um, you figure out the rest for yourself. But it's just a liquor infused blue dye madness drink.
Yeah, I think it's
And I started to drink that, and I had to pee like crazy, and there was a sea of drunk people I had to get through, and I was already drunk off my ass, and I went to the bathroom. This is where the story gets funny. Music's so loud you can't hear anything. One of the bartenders sees me go over to the bathroom, comes over, is like, "Hey, dude, we got a private bathroom back here for the employees." He's like, "Come and use this one." I'm like, "Dude, you're awesome." I go back there. What he didn't tell me is they stored their empty kegs in this bathroom. So it was half full of empty kegs. And my drunk ass gets in there. First thing I do is I turn around and I knock over an empty keg in front of the locked bathroom door. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I was like, all right, well, I just got to cath real quick. I cathed.
uh,
I was trapped in the bathroom. I texted my homies. I like called him. The music was so loud they couldn't hear me. I texted the whole situation. Somehow I texted it, and I was able to unlock the door. And my buddy came in, like got it open enough to slide in, and then lifted up the keg. I slid out, and we were good to go. I finished my AMF, and I
so
made
how
my.
long did you end up spending in the bathroom?
I was probably stuck in there for like half an hour. It was like it
Nice.
was a good 30 minutes I was stuck in there. And by that time the fire department showed up and they closed down the bar and they were like shuffling everybody out.
And then
And
out come you.
and out comes me. First thing I did is I went to the trash can, threw up, and threw up in the trash can outside the bar because that second cocktail hit me so hard. And
Oh man.
then a buddy was like, "Yo, Tom, like, let's walk back to your place." And my other friends, it started raining. They went to go get an umbrella, but we were just too drunk. We were like, "Let's just walk home in the rain." And we called them. We're like, "Go to Carl's Jr., get some bacon Western cheeseburgers, and meet us back at my apartment." So that's what they did. They went and got some food, and we made it home. And I ate a cheeseburger, or at least part of one. And the rest of the night is lost to me. But
Uh,
that hangover was the worst. I was sitting outside the next morning, just like huddled in the sunshine, like in pain. And this guy I knew from school, he was like an exchange student, walked up, was like, "Tom, are you okay?" I'm like, "Cristiano, what's going on, dude?" He's like, "You just look kind of sick, man." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a little sick, bro."
yeah. Yeah, man, that's
Craziness,
funny.
craziness.
Yeah, I probably have plenty of those stories too from my earlier 20s days and stuff. But I'll tell one just real quick and try to keep it brief because this is one of the last nights that I actually got like had more than a couple beers. We had an import player on a rugby team. So for rugby, you can import players from other countries to play for your team. Like you get like good players that play for Olympic teams, and you can bring in one player. So we had this guy from Austria playing with us. This guy Rene. He was a super cool guy, like 6'5", giant Austrian dude. Badass. He's really fun. He lived out here with another buddy for like the whole season. For Thanksgiving, he was gonna come to our Thanksgiving with us. I was gonna drive. He came to spend the night before Thanksgiving. I was gonna drive him down and hang out for Thanksgiving. Um, and the night he was at my house the night before Thanksgiving, he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Let's go to American Strip Club, man." And I'm like, I'm like,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
He's like, He's like, "Let's get some beers and boobs." I'm like,
Beers and
whatever,
boobs.
bro.
We're in America. Let's
I'm
go.
like, I'm like, dude. I'm like, yeah, dude. He's here for a little time. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll take him to an American. Yeah, like that sounds cool. So we went up to this place and like had a few beers, and I'm trying to drink with this like 6'5" Austrian guy. Like, I'm like trying to match his beers with him. Like, so like
Bad
I think
idea.
two. Yeah, we got like two pitchers in, and I was already like way too drunk, too much. Ended up going into the bathroom, doing like the side, like throw up into the toilet of the strip club, like in the bathroom.
Dirty, bro.
The
That's
bouncer
dirty
opens the door
imagery.
on me and he's like, "You okay?" Because he could hear me. I'm like, Good, bro. I'm good. We end up getting home. Luckily, my other able-bodied friend was able to drive. He wasn't drinking. I'm like in my van. I threw up again in my van on the floor of my van, like on the ride home. Ended up being so sick, I missed Thanksgiving. I could not drive the hour down here to my grandma's house because it was when I was still living out in the valley. Couldn't make Thanksgiving. I sat at home, hungover, throwing up into a trash can, all of Thanksgiving by myself. Because Renee ended up taking an Uber back to my other friend's house and just doing Thanksgiving down there. I felt
Oh
so
man.
bad. Oh my god. And I haven't done a night like that since. It's been a few years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
I miss Thanksgiving, everything, family.
I'm
Sorry.
not afraid that those rougher nights are hopefully mostly behind me. I do think it's something to enjoy in moderation. I think alcohol can be really like good time if you do it safely and responsibly. But that's the thing. I've never once like regretted, not getting drunk enough. Like I've always been okay and just chilling and still had plenty of fun. It's usually the regrets
Uh,
start to come when you imbibe a little bit too much. So if you do plan on having some holiday festivities, just make sure you do responsibly, stay safe, and
yeah.
have a good time. My go-to in light of that is probably the herb. It's like a lot easier to control my level of intoxication. Um, like my high will be gone, in an hour or two if I want it to be. Whereas alcohol is a different creature. If I start drinking, first of all, it makes you want to drink more, which is not good.
Yeah.
um, like it takes a long time to sober up for me. Ugh, it takes forever. Gross.
Uh, and
Wasn't
Celtic Bear says that he's 7 feet tall, actually. He's a 7 footer. So he's calling my Austrian buddy a shrimp. 7 foot, man. You are a big boy, dude. That is. And then Hip Crip asked him how he fits in a wheelchair. You definitely would have to have a custom chair to be
yeah,
7 foot.
man.
You gotta have a tall backrest.
We did miss some stuff. Let's
Yeah, I know.
go back here. Quad Life asked if you take any bladder medication, Sean.
So I don't know if you're referring to drinking, but if just for regular
Yeah,
bladder
just
medication,
regular.
I take 15 milligrams of ditropan and 50 milligrams of marabetric, which are both bladder suppressant pills that both relax the bladder to reduce spasms. But they're yeah, I take the ditropan at night and the marabetric in the day. And then Tom, I don't know, do you take anything or?
No, I've been off the bladder meds since I got my augmentation and my stoma to do my intermittent cath. Through I used to take I forget the dosage. It was like 10 milligrams of ditropan, I think.
Yeah.
If that sounds like a super low dose, might have been a little higher. It's hard for me to remember. It was probably like
No,
over a
10's
decade ago.
like decent. 15 is actually I think the max you can do for like a 24-hour period. It says for like
And
whatever.
that was
And
just because I
yeah,
when I would cath through my urethra, I would get bladder spasms, and like have leaking issues and stuff. Um, doing it that way, but no issue after that change to my bladder. So the only thing I do take intermittently, I guess, is if I do get something going on, which I like just started when I was having some serious bladder issues, is like baclofen,
oh, okay. So
just like
yeah,
low dose
I take
baclofen.
the I have to take the marabetric and the ditropan because I still do have even with the suprapubic, I get bladder spasms and I will like spasm and pee, which causes me to actually like my spasm to actually like pee not through the suprapubic catheter.
Also, Quad Life, you asked if I game. Oh, I game, bro.
Oh, I game.
So what systems do I game on? Uh, Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4, and I also have like Google Stadia, which not a lot of people have. But I can like play through that too. Really cool service if anybody is into gaming. Um, and doesn't have a lot of money for consoles and stuff like that. And then I do a little bit of PC, but not so much anymore. Like I used to play StarCraft and like just some like local land stuff, but I don't have like a good PC to game on, so I'm mostly just doing consoles. But if you have a PlayStation, dude, add me, bro. I can message you my gamer tag or whatever. And what do I play? I don't know. Play everything. A lot of RPGs though, like Fallout. Um, Halo for sure. Huge Halo fan from back in the day, but I don't have an Xbox, so it looks like I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I did It Takes Two with one of my buddies. It's a fun multiplayer game, or like two-player game, I guess. Fall Guys, some stuff like that. But I have a Switch too, so like I will school anybody want to challenge me to Smash Bros. I will show you who's boss, quad hands or
Uh,
not. Let me tell you.
uh.
Um,
Hey, do you ever
uh,
play with my brother Jeff or no? Have you guys linked up on
just,
Switch?
no, dude, that's gonna happen though, bro. Oh
Because I
my
know he's on
God.
Switch. He's on the Switch all the time. Like he plays. Yeah.
Yo, Quad Life, I'm gonna take down that right now, and I'll add you as soon as I give me like an hour off the pod, because I got to make some food and do some stuff. But I'll add you tonight, dude, for sure. Because I was gonna hop
And I
on and play with
had
my buddy
there's
Danny a little later.
earlier
Quad
Grant had
Killer
asked a
360.
question if we're having trouble finding caregivers to come in during the pandemic. And then actually I am right now. Was going to bring that up. I'm actually I have one caregiver that's good. But I've been looking for somebody else on the other days, and it's been hard. Like nobody, uh, I don't know. I have not had very many replies, just because it seems like nobody wants to work. Everybody's wants some of that free money. uh,
Best advice for that? Put out some ads. Pay
that's what I did. I
it.
just put an ad on care.com and stuff, and I
There are
always have one
websites
on Craigslist and
dedicated to
uh,
it, and they're usually local caregivers to you. Yo, Quad Life, I got your PSN, dude. Mine is T Fizzle 420. Uh, I can't type it into the chat, but if you fizzle like for shizzle, my nizzle. Um, but I'll add you after too, so you'll get. But just so you know, that's who it's from. I don't have Quad or anything in my name, and it's not the same as my Instagram thing. What up, Mason? Good
nice.
to see you,
Yeah, what's
dude.
up, Mason?
What do you play,
Always
Quad
good to
Life?
see.
What games do you jam on? I
Uh, yeah, we
I'm
had
always
that
down to
the
try
game.
different stuff.
The
And
gaming is
how do you do
interesting, man.
gaming?
I don't know how a lot of you quads do it. Like, but a lot of people, a lot of quads don't know how I do stuff that I do. But like, I don't know how quads game, man. I'm like, you
I'll show
guys
you.
are.
um, I've been trying to figure out how to do VR. My buddy brought over the Oculus. He got one, and it's two controllers though, and you have to have independent finger control on each controller. And
Uh,
let me tell you though, dude, if you guys are thinking about, yeah, dude, that's it. T Fizzle 420, you got it, homie. Um, if you guys are thinking about getting the Oculus, it's super amazing, incredibly immersive. It gave me a little bit of like physical dissonance, like with my body, in that like there there are these like triggers on the controllers, and like when you hit the trigger it imitates like finger movement, so you see your finger like point and then like grip and stuff, and you like pick up objects in, obviously virtual reality. But I would grab and then like my hand would close like a real hand would, and I'm telling you, man, it gave my brain some weird feels. Like it just was like physical sensations that like hard to articulate, like that I really haven't experienced in a long time. Like I'd be hard pressed to tell you what it's like to move regular hands. It was just really weird. And same thing with like the depth perception. um is like the it would like you'd be a standing person in the game, and the ground would look further away, but then I would like lift my little goggles up and I'd like still be sitting down, but it almost like would be like feel like I'm standing because like the ground looks far away from me. And it
that's
gave me a
crazy to the
really
mind
weird,
that
weird
your
feel.
mind can really do that kind of stuff. Like in your like,
but it was cool.
It's crazy.
And to just show like how I game, why I can't do the Oculus very well is because I have to use two controllers. The way I really play is if I can set the controller on my lap, my stomach, use my quad belly for my little shelf, and I use my palm of my hand for the left analog stick. I use my index finger for the right and the buttons. I like switch back between like aiming and like using the buttons. And then if I want to use the triggers, I have to move my hands back. Now, when this is all going, it just looks like a jumbly mess or whatever. And I can like sometimes use the triggers with the back of my index finger on my left hand and then move my character around still and then use the right hand to aim. So sometimes I'll switch it up. Um, but practice is really what makes perfect. I suck at certain games that you can't map the controllers, like the controls, or they're just awkward for like the game mechanics are awkward. Um, but that's almost every game that's released now has accessibility built into it. It's become a huge part of the gaming industry. I've spoken to like some like Sony people and like some video game people that like have like talked to me about accessibility and stuff, and it's really cool and really fun way to escape for a couple hours. Let me tell you, if my body's hurting me or if I'm just having a hard time, I can hop on and you know just focus my mind in a different direction for a couple hours. Especially if you have a friend you can game with too. Really can be a fun, cool way to get some fine motor control skills going on, and also just entertain yourself. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure it's a little bit of a workout too, because like even moving that fine motor, like little motions, like
oh
that's
yeah, oh
like
yeah, dude.
it's got to be after like an hour of playing, like that'd be physically like demanding.
Yeah, dude, cool. I'll check my PlayStation, add you back soon, dude. I don't really do too. I guess I do some first person shooters. The I like done some PUBG and some like battle royale stuff like that. I kind of suck, but I still have fun, and that's what it's mostly about. Like I don't get on to be the best. Like I get on to just chill and have fun. But yeah, man, we
uh,
definitely got to get on some gaming. But the so Celtic Bear is just trying Warcraft. Warcraft, one of my favorites.
I used to
But
play
the old
Warcraft
ones,
way back in the day, like
yeah,
when
like
I
Warcraft
was like a
3 and
teenage.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I gotta hook up with Jeff on Switch, dude. I didn't know he was a Smash Bros. Guy.
yeah, he's actually supposed to be here next week too,
Okay,
so
cool.
he is gonna be
All right,
coming.
man. Well, we'll definitely make that happen, bro. I bailed on seeing him the last time.
Uh,
Yeah, dude.
so
It's really
that'll be cool.
great to learn skills with your hands. Like that was a lot of my fine motor stuff when I was younger. Is like trying to beat my brother in Madden. So I got some experience in Madden, bro. Be warned. I grew up playing Madden all my life, uh, playing against my bro. That blitz, um, and
Uh,
I mean, I don't really. I'm not that great at football, but I'm not really that into the sport. But I'll see if I can school you in some Madden maybe.
uh,
But I really
yeah, me.
recommend if you can try to get some different consoles. Try to get some different controllers. Like it really ups your skills when you can like take what you've developed and try it on something different. You know, what were you gonna say, Sean?
Um,
I didn't mean to cut you off there, dude. My bad.
no, it wasn't important. I think I was just, yeah, I forget now. um,
We're getting a
but
little overtime, but can we keep it going for a few?
yeah, if you want, that's fine.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got a caregiver showing up at some point, but I figure maybe we can go another 10, 15 minutes. Um, I did want to run it back and talk about my concert experience because I've gone to two.
Oh yeah.
Sorry for jumping around a bunch today, people. Um, just trying to cover everything I said I was going to talk about in case someone wanted to hear about it. um, Olivia says she's going to swaddle us like a baby. All right. All right, Olivia. Not sure the context of that. Maybe I missed it, but I don't mind. I don't mind a nice swaddling from time to time.
Yeah,
um,
dude.
or whoever that was meant for, or whatever context that was meant for. Um, but I've been to two shows. The first one was Spoon. Shout out any Spoon fans out there. It was at like this little theater in downtown LA. It was a crazy adventure getting there, man. The I wanted to like take Metro because I was going with two friends, and they were like, "Yo, we'll meet at the NoHo Red Line," and it was like right off the Red Line that we could get to the theater. So I was like, "Down, let's go." And I don't know, like maybe I'm a little bit of like anxiety set in during the COVID times. I mean, I know a little bit has going out, being around people, but public transit is particularly hard. Um, and it, I don't know how else to put it. It was sketchy. LA's a little sketchy right now. Um, and again, I feel for everybody in this situation, so I can only imagine how much harder it is than the stuff I deal with day in and day out. But a lot of homelessness on the streets. That is their main way of getting around, which is tough. Um, and so you're bound to interact with some. I never, mind interacting with anybody. Always happy to share a smile and a few positive words if I can. But that's not always meant to be with some people. In this particular instance, it was tough. Like I had a couple of negative interactions with some people suffering from some severe mental health stuff and just having a hard time. Um, and I don't know. I just did not feel safe. I really sketched out the red line, the elevator. Couldn't get up onto the platform because the elevator was broken. Had to like go down an extra station. That elevator was broken too. I had to run around trying to figure out how to get out from being underground. That was like scary and tough. Made it to the show. The show was cool. My best advice for anybody, I mean, first of all, be careful following all that Travis Scott, Astroworld stuff, and all those people getting trampled to death. That's really
Yeah,
scary.
that's scary.
Don't go in the thick of the mosh. It's not a place for any kind of wheelchair. That's for sure. Um, go to a handicap spot if you can. This theater had like an upper deck, but unfortunately they didn't have any elevator access. All the venues they go to nowadays are really cool. Usually, like, hey, whatever you need, let us know. We'll hook you up. But also, the best thing you can do sometimes is like muscle your way up to the front of the crowd. Like, I literally told my two homies, like, grab on the back of my chair, the other grabbed their shoulders, and like we made a little train. And I was just like, excuse me, can I get by? Can I get by? Can I get by? And they just like hugged me until we got up to the front. We were just like off to like left center of the stage behind like one or two people, and we were like 6 feet away from the main guy performing. And it was dope. Like sometimes you just gotta like not be rude about it, be like, yo, excuse me, touch a few booties, be like, hey, can I get by? um and
That's a Quan
don't
Life
sexually assault
says.
anybody. I just mean like that's often when I go to reach out to get someone's attention. I'm usually at booty level. Sometimes I'll snag a little hip without intention, with all this music flying around. But you just got to work your way up there. Don't be afraid. They can all see over you, so you never have to worry about anybody. Like having issues with you in front of them, the issues with them being in front of you. So I always say if you pay for the ticket, if you're there to see the show, it's not the time to be bashful. Work your way up there. Don't be afraid to, push yourself through the crowd, tell people to move and get out of the way. Or just ask one of the workers, be like, hey, I'm trying to get a spot up in that corner. You think you can help me get up there? I've never had some usher or person be like, sorry, dude, that's not for you. They've always been like, hell yeah, let's get you up there, you know? And then I went to a music festival in Vegas, so it was 2 days of shows and music. Um, Now we had a hotel. I've done the festival camp out before, quad style, only with my family though. Let me just say, if you're gonna go stay for a couple days outdoors, um, make sure you have a caregiver with you that can help you and someone who's familiar with you. Lots of stuff happens at festivals, overheating, not being able to find a bathroom. especially if you're staying overnight, you got to deal with, bowel care and stuff. And then, I don't know, the times that I did it, I slept on a cot. And, you want to make sure it's safe and you're on a, air mattress or something that's suitable for you if you're doing that kind of crazy thing. Because it's crazy and it's awesome and everyone should do it, but you just have to be really well prepared. This particular instance, though, we were living in luxury and stayed at a hotel. So we had a hotel to go back to, which made it a lot more comfortable. And it was like a Reggae Rise Up Outdoor Reggae Fest for 2 days in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. So it was a little wild. A lot of
Nice.
crazy people about. And how was the concert experience? I didn't go use the handicap platform until the very last show on the second night. Because every other time I was like up in the crowd, like up close to the stage. Um, because that's where I like to be. I like to be, up in it. Like I like to see, you know, see the act close up and stuff. I like all the people, dancing around me. I think it's like a ton of fun, and the handicap platform takes away from that a little bit. Credit to the
It does,
festival,
yeah.
they didn't have free water, which I don't know how that's legal in 2021, but they did have a nice accessible area which you could go and chill. Um, and I kind of regret not going there sooner because it ended up kind of being like a nice vantage and a good spot to hang. But I don't really regret staying away from it for most of the weekend. I did see it a couple times passing by, but every time it did look full of other people. Um, and like I don't mind squeezing into some chairs, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone that really needed or wanted that space was able to get it. Because I'm usually like I was with a bunch of family and a bunch of other people. And there were two stages, a lot of rolling, make sure your battery's charged. Outside of
Yeah.
that, um, it was just stay cool, regulate the body temperature, don't drink too much, know where the accessible bathroom is. And this place had really awesome, like, nice roll-in bathrooms um,
Nice.
that were
Yeah,
really cool,
Mason said
super user
he went to
friendly.
Coachella and that was really wheelchair friendly.
Yeah, I want to do
Um,
Coachella.
so
We
that's
we know I don't know him personally, but I know a quadriplegic individual that works for festivals that gets
yeah,
hired to make accessible options for individuals and chairs all with all kinds of disabilities, but just making sure the wheelchair homies are taken care of and everybody in between because it's not just for people in wheelchairs. Lots of different mobility issues out there which can warrant a seat rather than standing for 12 hours. It's just so
yeah.
funny. Like I was in Vegas every night. I was like, "Yo, I'm going out. Who's coming with me?" I was like, "Oh, my feet, my legs, my back hurt so much. I'm going to bed." So like I was like raging and ready to go. Nobody else was down because they're a bunch of old fogies that spend too much time on their feet. Except for my sister, she came through in the last night, and credit my mom did too. Um,
Nice.
and we went out and did a little gambling, had some fun. But I just thought that was funny. I'm like, damn, I guess I do get a little. It's like I call them the crip perks, right? It's a nice, comfy seat to relax in. Don't have to deal with any of that foot or leg soreness the next day from jumping around.
Yeah,
But
your back and butt and stuff don't get sore from long periods in the chair or anything.
mm, my shoulders do
No.
a little bit. Not really my back and my butt. Not like if I have my good cushion on and I'm sitting right, I'm making sure to shift my weight. Like I don't know. Let me just paint a little picture here. Um, those 3 nights in Vegas, like I got up at like 9 and went to bed at like 4 or 5 like every night.
It's
So I don't know how many hours in the chair that is, but it was only
a
like I
lot
guess
of
like
hours
20
in the
hours,
chair.
or like around 20 hours, 19, 18 hours. Um, so I can do long stretches and be fine. Like as long as I get a few hours out of my chair stretched out. Now, anybody out there, don't do that. Not unless you're a seasoned quad and you know your body and you know what you can take. It's not what I do on the daily. I can't do that on the daily, or else I'd end up with fused hips, like we were talking about earlier, and other issues and back issues. And I'm dealing with body issues right now because during my like during school and just life. Partying. Those nights I would party, dude, I would go 48 hours in my chair because I would stay up all night in my chair and then just stay up the next day. I would do my care. I would get out of my chair, do my care, and then after my shower, get back in my chair and just keep on going at it. Or just like long nights for school, like I'd pull all nighters all the time, for like assignments and tests. And I would like, yeah, like that time out of my chair during my care was enough to stretch my body, move my body, and then I'd be good back in the chair. Now, definitely some negative side effects from doing that too much. Um, but you got to live your life. Do I regret it? No. Do I wish I was doing some PT and some, more mindful body care uh, back then? Yeah, absolutely. Um, but again, sometimes, I mean, like my bladder, I really try to cath every 3 to 4 hours because I know it's healthy and it's the right thing to do. But sometimes I let it, push it 6, 7, 8 hours because I'll be living life and I don't have time to go cath or pee, and I can. Um, I don't think it's bad to sometimes make those selfish decisions, for for yourself rather than your body. If we want to talk about them like two separate things, it's okay to push yourself as long as you make sure to take care of yourself and rest extra afterwards. Like I swear, after that Vegas trip, like I stayed in bed for like 18 hours and just like recouped, um, and
Yeah,
like
you gotta
slept
know
in
your
really hardcore
body.
one day. Um, and I don't feel like there's going to be any lasting repercussions because I pushed it that weekend. But if I did it every weekend or every weekend for a month, then I might be,
Yeah,
looking at a different picture. But for the most part, this is also coming from like knowing and learning. I mean, right, Sean? The only way you can push yourself is because you know your body so well.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, I definitely tested my body's limits early on when I was pushing myself. And like you said, I do kind of think that something you should do to try just to like, kind of test yourself and see what you can do. Because if you don't push yourself, then sometimes you can get stuck the other way where you're just never doing anything. You're never going out. You're not like getting stronger. You're not like living life. So
it's good
yeah,
to learn your limits. That way you know what you're capable of. It's uh, it's healthy to push your body sometimes, but it's necessary to be mindful of your limits and not pushing them too far and ending up, in a position where you're in a long recovery period and other things happen and stuff like that. Um, I do crazy things like that, but also with mine that I'm high risk for pressure sores. If I'm not shifting my weight regularly, and doing what I need to do, like I will, that weekend could cost me 6 months or a year or more. And it can be stressful, like living with that in your head, and like it could take away from, the experience a little bit. But on the other side of the coin, it doesn't need to. You make the best of it, doing what you can, with the limits that you have, and you're just mindful. I push myself because I know what my body can take. I have really good seat cushions. We're going to be talking about some of our equipment here in future episodes, showing our chair setups and stuff, and like why they're so important. How to set yourself up with good equipment that can allow yourself to have some freedoms that maybe you didn't otherwise have. And yeah, it's just all stuff you gotta take into consideration and plan for in order to have the fun, rather than not preparing and then going and have the fun.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, if you want to do it, you got to make sure you do take the proper steps, prepare, know what you're getting into, and know how to recover. Because yeah,
Yeah,
that's important,
absolutely.
man. For sure.
Did
Take care.
we miss any questions? Did you have anything
Uh,
else that you
I
wanted to
don't
talk about
know.
today, Sean? I've just kind of been bogarting the mic over here.
No, that's cool, man. We've just kind of been rolling as like I
Just
don't know what the
riffing.
flow of.
Yeah. I
And I don't
appreciate you guys
remember.
hanging with us for a more casual show today. We're able to guests lined up this week, and Bobby had some other obligations. So me and Sean were just gonna rock it quadcast style and just talk about some fun stuff. I have a very light cushion since we're talking about cushions. Verilite. Um, I use it for my manual and my power chair. Swap them in and out, and
Is
it's
that an air
basically a
cushion or a gel
foam
cushion?
square. Huh?
Is it
It's
foam?
foam, but it has an air bladder inside the middle of the
Okay,
foam.
air.
So you're supposed to like kind of sit down on it, let the air out, and it like conforms to your booty, and then
So
you close the
similar to the
valve, and it
Roho.
holds the shape. And yeah, but then it has the foam and the air. Now, big thing to mention. Dell talked about this, and he said it is like get air in your cushion. I go for the combo, the foam air combo. I know people that use ride design chairs and are like these hard foam things, but have been custom cut to like alleviate pressure in certain ways, and that
Yeah,
works great for them. But I always like stress this, and Dell said it best. Like, get some air under your butt. It's like the probably the best kind of cushion you can get um, over gel or foam, in my opinion, or some conjunction of both. But if it works, it works. That's the big
yeah.
thing to take away. Don't knock it if it works for you. We all have different circulation and different pressure and different weights and stuff. So what works for one person doesn't work for the other. Make sure you're speaking to a seating specialist. Don't settle if it's not right. If they got to come up with a whole new seat for you, that's what you got to do. You're sitting in that sucker every day. It doesn't matter what it
And
takes to
there,
get
there
it.
are companies that do that. Will make you full custom setups. They'll actually pressure map your butt and back and stuff and find out where the pressure is forming and completely make a cushion to like alleviate that. So yeah, there's options just out there. Lots of options. Do your
Um,
research. That's another big thing on all this stuff. Like, do your homework, look stuff up. If you're having problems with your butt, your cushion, like,
and don't be afraid. Like most people that I talk to are like, "Oh, it felt great the first day, but then after a week, it wasn't right," because you can't really know in a day. You can't really know in 2 or 3 days. Sometimes it takes, a few days in and out of the chair to get a feel, to get a large whoopee cushion. Heck yeah. Um, be mindful of the flatulence, people. But then they're afraid to speak up and go back and be like, hey, this isn't right, because they don't think they can get a new one, or they're afraid their insurance is going to give them a hard time, or they're afraid their DME is going to give them a hard time. Be like, look, we gave you what we gave you, make it work or don't. That's not the case. That's not how, quality of care works. What that means is, it's their responsibility to meet their obligation of getting you a functional and a safe and a usable seating system for everyday use. It's the most important part of your mobility and our independence is our chairs. It's where we spend most time. So,
and
um,
Quad Life actually asked how often we exchange chairs. And Celtic Bear says every 5 years, which is this like like the insurance Medicare or Medi-Cal standard is 5 years is pretty much what they'll cover a new chair for you. And I would suggest trying to get it that every 5 years. Like, even if you think you don't need the new chair, like it might be, good to upgrade. It's just that things wear, and it's good to have a newer, better equipment.
yep, 5 year time frame is what you're looking at. Just be mindful that it's a process. It's usually a 6 month process, maybe even more sometimes. Getting a new chair, like just make sure they sell you. Make sure you go check out the chairs. You see some cool stuff. You see different options. Insurance is constantly changing. Chairs are constantly being updated and made with better, longer lasting, newer, cooler stuff. So just sometimes they'll just see what you had, try to give you what you had before, and be like, there you go. Be happy for another 5 years. No, no, no. Be like, yo, what am I eligible for? Show me what you got. Show me the money, and then I'll tell you what I want. and we'll have that conversation.
And there
Um,
are other options too. Like if you want something that insurance won't cover, most companies will be able to add that on for you, and you can get companies to get you can get grants and stuff from organizations to help cover that gap if there is like anything that's not covered. Because if you need it, it's necessary. Like it's something that's going to help you, benefit you in your life. Like you want to get that equipment.
yep. But it can be tough, as Sean can tell you. Getting a new chair can sometimes be not so great experience.
Yeah.
Didn't you just struggle with the new one that you got?
Yeah, and I'm back in my old chair and
Yeah,
gonna try to get possibly like a grant or something to get a new custom chair made. But yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah. I tried mine for a year and it just didn't work. Like I gave it adequate time to adjust and tried little adjustments. I tried to fix things, and there's just a couple things that I can't quite adjust. So
Yeah, well, it's good on you for, even that deep in recognizing, like, hey, this isn't right. I got to get to something more comfortable. It probably helps you in the long run, at least your body and everything.
yeah, no, definitely, man. I'm more comfortable. I don't have the fear of like flipping this thing over the wheelie bars, like, and hitting my head on something. So that's a big part of it. uh,
Yeah,
uh,
Peter, that happened to my manual chair too. I just tried to get it repaired, but there were a bunch of stress fractures in the frame, so now I got to figure out how to get a new one. Because they don't manufacture those tie lights anymore, so.
yeah, that's what sucks. Salty Bear said lemon law, and no, it's not really. It's like it's the frame. It's not like it's cracked or doesn't like. It's the design of the chair. Like it's like and it's not how I ordered it. It's like the actual frame design. Like they, I don't know. I should have ordered a different chair. It partially is my fault for not realizing that it was a compact design. Even with
We'll
my same measurements, it still came out different.
we'll tantalize you guys. You have to wait to listen to our wheelchair episode that we're going to be doing soon, and
Yeah.
we'll go into a lot more detail about the wheelchairs. And it was a quickie, right,
Um, it was a
Sean?
quickie. Yeah, the quickie is the one that doesn't work for me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alrighty. I'm
But
probably gonna have to get moving because I got a caregiver showing up. But is there anything else? I don't have to jump off right away. Are there any more last minute questions or anything? Anybody want us to touch on our casual
Quad
show
Life
today?
had asked us if we're dating, which Tom has a girlfriend, but I am not right now.
Yeah.
I
We'll talk.
remember that in there. That'll be
We'll
another
talk quad
episode.
life. Like we'll talk some gaming. I'll see if I can wingman you a little bit, homie. Um, if you are curious, if you haven't seen our episodes we've talked about before, um, we have had some like dating sex episodes, which might be sources of information. Talk about online dating, stuff like that. I've done it all, bro. I'm currently in a relationship with an awesome, beautiful woman. And I could talk to you about that too, man. Um, the quad life isn't easy, and can complicate anything. Especially when it comes to dating. Too. I always say like you make the I'll make any situation work, but I'd be hard pressed to say there aren't difficult aspects of it. There are direct results of my disability and my quad days, and you know, um, so it's something I would say. I don't know, every young person wants to date generally, not always the case. Um, if you got the bug, dude, I'd say it'd be healthy to try to figure things out, pursue it in a healthy way, but also try not to just like rush into things. Um,
Yeah.
it can be a nasty world, and I don't mean that in like a bad way. It just people suck. Online dating, especially. There's something about the anonymity of like being behind a cell phone or a computer screen, and yo, dude, it can just touch on the self-esteem a little bit. It can be
Just don't
not
let that bother
positive.
you. That's the one thing. You just got to try to try your hardest not to let those little things bother you, like Tom's talking about, because they
Um,
are.
and it happens to everybody, disabled or not. You're not special because, you're doing it from
Oh
the
yeah,
chair. But it can be difficult for a lot of reasons. Um, how you put your stuff out there, the negative comments when you do get them, or, just rude comments that people may not even, mean to be rude. Um, but there's just a lot of that we could talk about and get into. Um, but it's healthy thing to pursue, regardless of your level of disability. Um, I, always think it's a good positive thing. I try to push for people that have some interest. So yeah, man, we'll talk about it some more. We're gonna have future episodes on it at some point. We got some other stuff lined up, but it's always kind of a recurring topic, and always feel free to ask us about specifics, general stuff, whatever. Not just quad life, but everybody.
yeah.
Um,
Like always, you guys can message us. Our Instagrams are there. You can email. Um, Tom, yeah, we both have emails at livetoroll.org if you want to
yeah,
email
you can email us. The
Sean
best
or
way to
Tom.
reach me is either through Sean or through my Instagram.
Yeah,
Um,
through the
just
Instagram's good
beware, I'm
too.
not on the gram 24/7. So it might take me a day or two to get back to you, but I will. As long as your inquiry is genuine. There are some strangers out here on the internet, people. Let me tell you.
Celtic Bear is married and he met someone special online. It does work.
And
So
definitely, dude, I did not mean to knock it. I did online dating for a hot minute, like several years. I've had amazing experiences. I like met some really awesome people online, but I've had some not so great experiences too, which just comes to the territory. And that's my only sentiment with that was just sometimes you got to guard your heart in this online dating world in the 21st century we're living in, because there's just something about that online interaction. It can be tough sometimes, I think. But I always do say my best dating advice, dude. Confidence, baby. Confidence is key.
yeah,
um,
for sure.
own who you are, own all facets of yourself, love yourself. It's a lot harder for someone to love you if you don't love yourself. Um, and own who you are. We all got some quirks. We all got baggage. That don't change nothing. Whoever
And Hip
you're
Crip,
gonna be
don't
getting
worry,
involved with, I'm sure. Go ahead.
it'll work out eventually. Hip Crip.
Yeah, man, definitely, dude. I ended up meeting someone not online, um, and sometimes that happens too. But it's really the world we live in today is online dating. It's one of the, especially post COVID. It's just like a reality. It's super hard to meet people in everyday life. Um, Really fun to go out and get involved in stuff like that too. I don't know. I'm a nerd. I'd go into like D&D groups and like like nerdy stuff. Like go like comic book shops and go places like that and hang out with people. I would go out with my homies on Friday nights. Go out to bars. Bars are hard places to meet people. Just in my experience. I mean, I don't know. Um, but getting yourself out, doing things that you're interested in. There's just something that shines, through when you're enjoying yourself and genuinely having a good time and interacting with other people who are as well. And that can, spark stuff. Whether it's, getting out doing some adaptive rec, you never know who you're gonna meet. Whether it's just getting out, cruising, going doing, some fun stuff in the sun on your own with some other friends. There's lots of groups and things to get involved in now that the world is waking up. And yep, you gotta admit it. Like online dating is just part of life for most single people these days. Gotta slide in those DMs. But
Yeah, for
be yourself
sure.
too. You don't want to sell a false set of goods. It can be hard to be honest about some aspects of the crip life sometimes. But I always say don't scare off the person too quick by unloading everything. But be open and honest about yourself and your life. That's my experience has always been pretty positive. Um, Unless I was getting bad vibes from the person, then you just ghost them. Peace out.
Yeah, you can usually tell pretty quick when you meet somebody. Like I don't know how open they are, kind of how. Yeah, it's I don't know. Just feel people feel it out, see how it goes, and like Tom said, protect your heart. Don't don't take things too personally from people messages online and stuff for sure. Because and Base of Spades
Base.
mentioned real quick, yeah, not having Triumph out in New York. Yeah, man. I would
Or
say
is
if you're
he,
looking
is
for
he
just
in,
virtual
is he in
support,
New
uh,
Mexico or New York?
oh, New Mexico. Sorry, New Mexico. uh, and yeah,
Um,
NM.
sorry, man. I didn't mean to throw your thought off.
No,
Continue,
no,
bro.
that's cool. But yeah, I was gonna say just if obviously online, some Facebook support groups, different things like that, and then also maybe, I mean, I don't know if there's anything, if there's not anything in the area, maybe you can start a support group. Like that's literally Triumph started because Andrew wanted to bring some care baskets to people at the holidays, and then like start a support group, and then now it is what it is. So yeah, just
Um, yeah, dude, that's tough. Um, I know
yeah.
how hard that can be growing up in a kind of more rural area where there wasn't a lot of activities going on too, for a long time until I moved down here to SoCal. We do have some resources. I can inquire um, personally with some of the resources that I have to see what is out there. Gosh, I feel like there's got to be some local groups or something, even if it's not within convenient driving distance, maybe within drivable distance. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, man, let me see if I can look into some resources out there for you. Um, Celtic
Yeah, man,
Bear,
and maybe make
don't
this
cat in front of them.
a road
Go
trip
ahead, dude.
one weekend for a Triumph event too.
Yo, me and Sean don't need a
we,
road trip,
and we
dude.
can even there's even like you can even apply to Triumph for like a small grant to like get a hotel room if you wanted to come for a weekend. Like Triumph could even help with getting you to stay here. Like if you applied and asked and
Yeah,
said, I
dude,
really want
reach
to
out to
do
me,
this event,
bro.
yeah, there's all kinds of options. So yeah,
Even if it's
maybe
not for
not for the
Triumph.
20th because it's only in a couple weeks, but in the future. So
And yeah, even if it's not for Triumph,
or anything, yeah.
I got a place to stay. We'll find a accessible, transferable bed to transfer to, um, and figure something out for you. Um, but if you want to make it happen, man, pursue it. Don't cath in
For
front of
sure.
them. That's Celtic Bear's dating
That's a
advice.
dating advice.
Probably
Solid
probably
dating
solid
advice.
advice. Just like the rule, like it'd be kind of weird if someone you started dating just like went and peed right in front of you. That'd probably be a similar feel if you just like went to cath right in front of them. The bathroom rules probably stick
uh,
regardless.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, base we would party it up wherever.
Yeah, man, definitely would be fun. But yeah, I don't know. Should we wrap
And I'm
this up?
serious too, man. You make a trip out here to LA, and me and Sean will make some magic happen. Don't
Oh
worry.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. If you want to come out for any little event or just for anything, just to come, let us know. We'll try to set something up.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll introduce you to Andrew and all the Triumph people, and figure out how to make it a regular thing. Come out to these events and stuff. Figure out some travel, and figure out how to start some outreach in your local area, because that's usually where. I mean, it'd be awesome, amazing to have you out here for sure, and we should try to make that happen. But getting something going locally or finding a local group that you maybe don't know about that exists, that can really be the cool stuff. Is having the homie over in Rancho Cucamonga you could go and kick it with, you know, um, and people nearby you can see in person.
Yeah, man.
Because this online stuff is cool, but it's it's you gotta have that human interaction sometimes, for sure.
Yeah, I agree, man. I like human interaction. So,
Now, what about you, single man over here? You're not dating
uh,
anybody, Sean?
I am not dating anybody at the moment,
Yeah, you got
and
a couple lines in the water, huh, bro?
I kind of haven't even like I kind of even backed off the dating apps and everything. Like I've just been like concentrating on I don't know doing me and live to roll. And this last couple of weeks just not feeling good, anyways. So just kind of just getting through life.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Maybe in the future here.
And hey, that's usually the dating scene is, you get into it for a little while, you fall out of it for a little while. Get into it a little for a little while, fall out of it for a little while. It's one of those things. I always take with a grain of salt. You don't have to like just because you start getting into it doesn't mean you have to find someone tomorrow. It's okay to
Yeah,
go slow, ease into things. And yeah,
yeah,
so here, go east. We'll go east and see you, Celtic. We'll go kick it in New York with Hip Crip. Me and Sean, is there's some lofty goals, but we're taking literal on the road eventually. Gonna do some
yeah. That's
traveling, some
hopefully.
podcast
Yeah,
traveling.
hopefully next year. Maybe not. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be trying to do some stuff here.
We're
So.
going national and then international, baby. Gonna go.
Yeah, for sure. So and yeah, that's that'll be cool. Next year we hopefully have some things coming in the works and travel and stuff like that. So, but
Just want to
yeah,
apologize for my bad language today. Usually try to keep it a little bit more PC, but I let a couple curse words slip through. Hope I didn't offend anyone. If I did, apologize.
today
It
was
was just kind of a more
really kind
casual
of
talk today.
yeah. I was gonna
I
say
just
today
let
was
a
really a casual kind of
I
just
just let
hang
a
out
couple slip
day.
through there. But we really appreciate everyone coming hanging out with us in our casual quadcast today. Um, Let me just run through the comments one more time, call them out. Celtic, Base, Brandon, thanks for catching us live, dude. We went a little over today, so I'm glad you were able to catch us, Brandon. Big
Yeah,
shout out wherever you're coming from. Um, Peter, Mason, our boy Peter. My leg's spazzing. I can't reach my trackpad. Hip Crip, Quad Life. I'll add you on PlayStation tonight, my man. Sharon, if you're still watching, just want a big shout out. Thank you again for the super chat. Really appreciate the support for the show. It all goes right back into this stuff every week. And Arrowhead, appreciate you. Andrew, I didn't miss anybody, did I? Olivia, miss you, Olivia. I want to see you hang out. Ken, Mr. Womack, thanks for joining us today,
yeah, Ken.
boss. You're still around. That was pretty earlier. And Jennifer, appreciate the comments earlier. I hope you don't mind us making a little lighter situation. We are very sorry, injuries happen. We're just, joking around a little bit. And we appreciate you being here joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. And please come back and join us again. And that goes to everybody. We'll
Yeah,
be
we
back here
appreciate
next Tuesday.
everybody in here.
What are our times, Sean?
What's that?
What are our times for the
Oh,
show?
we got every week. We're back here Tuesday 3:30, and then we got Brianna. Whoops, let me. There we go. Brianna first and third Thursdays of the month with the Women's Disability Show. So this week she won't be on Thursday, but next week she will be up with another show. And yeah, always good stuff there. Always
And
good stuff
keep
with
an eye
us.
out on the Instagram for some teasers to next week's episode. Hopefully, we'll be
Yeah,
sending some stuff out to let you guys know what we'll be talking about next week. It's going to be a fun topic. It's going to be ripping and roaring, wild ride. So make sure to come and check us out.
oh yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, next week is gonna be fun. Brandon's actually says close to my stomping ground, north of Pittsburgh. Which yeah, my family is from Pittsburgh. I still have family in
okay,
Pittsburgh.
cool.
Obviously, we
Shout
got my
out
Steelers gear back
Steelers.
here.
You got the Steelers right back there. Boo! I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's awesome, Brandon. Sweet. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you, Celtic Bear. Later, man. Appreciate everybody. Live to roll. Follow us on Instagram, and like we said, any questions or anything, feel free to message us, direct message us, email us. If you want to just leave a comment, whatever you want to do, we will get to that and try to answer as best we can. So I hope
Yeah,
you.
we always reply and reach out. I don't mean to like say this in a weird way. As long as it's a genuine request, I've just gotten a couple weirdos trying to get into my chat lately, which it's all
Yeah,
good.
that's
Peace and love to everybody out there. Um, but especially for those, some serious inquiries about stuff, never ever hesitate to reach out. If I don't get back to you right away, I promise that I will. And yeah, appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys again. We'll be back next week.
Now,
Live to roll,
what do they got to
everybody.
do, Sean? They
They
got to
gotta
like.
like the video, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and
Appreciate all
comment
the
anything
comments.
below. Yeah, we appreciate everything, you guys. And follow us on our Instagram. We're trying to build the Live to Roll Instagram,
Yep.
so we're getting posts. I'm trying to keep the posting up, but all right. So thanks,
Couple old
guys.
fogies in this social media game. It's hard for us out there.
I know, seriously.
Thanks,
All
Donna.
right.
Shout out, Donna.
Oh yeah, Mom, thank you. Heck yeah. And Celtic Bear, yeah, check us out on Instagram. Um, oh, and that, yeah, my RC car, we got to start doing that too, for sure. But all right, guys, let's just wrap this up. I know Tom's got to get his hair going. I'm gonna get some food going, or yeah, I gotta get. I think we both gotta get food going, actually.
It's on the agenda.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys. See you guys next week, and live to roll, everybody.
Peace out.